My name is Emily, and this is Emma. And today we are going to be giving Friday a very special Halloween treat. So Friday is our green turtle. He lives in our Atlantic Ocean exhibit. And let's come over here and have a look at what we've got for him today. So, very Halloweeny, a pumpkin, of course, personalised with his name on it. But we're not going to just give him this, we're going to stuff it full of some extra leafy goodness for him. So we're just going to stuff it in all the little gaps that we can get it in. So if you guys have any questions today, please just pop them in the comment section and we will try and answer as many as we can. There's even a little face on the other side. So the vegetables that we're giving him is part of Friday's normal diet, but of course the pumpkin is not. That is just a special seasonal treat for him that hopefully he will really enjoy. A little cucumber nose. There we go. So I'm going to pass this over to Emma, who is going to hopefully... Oh, he's already here. He knows what's happening. So Friday is a green turtle. So that's one of the largest types. So he's actually the second largest species of turtle that exists. And his name is Friday. He's enormous. He weighs about 20 stone. How hard is Friday's shell? That's a really good question. So Friday's shell is actually made of the same things as our fingernails. So if you feel the back of your fingernails, that's the same thing that Friday's shell is made of. So it's called keratin. Oh, I just got splashed in the face. So normally, Friday obviously does not eat pumpkins out in the ocean because they're not found out there. So does anyone know what sort of things turtles might normally eat? If you think you know, if you just pop it in the comment section. So we actually feed Friday 3 times a day as well. So this is basically his lunchtime enrichment. So when we feed him at lunchtime, we always give him something a little bit different. So a toy, or something that he can chase around the tank, something that he has to kind of do or solve to get his food. So jellyfish, yeah, so turtles do eat jellyfish. So green turtles actually only eat jellyfish when they're babies. So when they're babies, green turtles eat a mixture, so they're omnivores. And then when they grow up and they're adults, they are herbivores. So Friday should just eat kind of seaweed and things like that. But Friday, even though he's fully grown, he never quite understood. So he often steals food from our sharks. So he didn't quite grow out of that phase for some reason. He's a little bit cheeky. Here comes one of our sharks now, actually. This is Citron, our lemon shark, just swimming past. So sometimes Friday will steal food from Citron. He's very brave. So in the wild, one of the things that turtles eat is seagrass. And it's really good for us that turtles eat seagrass because by grazing on it, they help the seagrass to grow back really strong and thick and full. And that helps to keep us healthy as people because seagrass takes in lots and lots of carbon from the atmosphere and gives out lots of oxygen. So it really, really helps us to reduce the effects of climate change. So if we look after turtles, the turtles will look after the seagrass and the seagrass will look after us. So it's all connected and anything we can do to help usually comes back to actually help us as well because the ocean helps us to stay nice and healthy. So there are a few little bits of lettuce that have fallen inside the pumpkin. So we're going to help him out and restuff them. So someone asked if Friday has teeth. He doesn't really have teeth. He's actually got a really, really sharp beak. So it's a similar shape to a bird's beak. so he can use it to crunch crunch on things. He likes to crunch his carrots with it. But he doesn't really have any teeth like us or like a shark would. How long do turtles usually live for? That's a really good question. So I said, well, Friday's about middle-aged, so he's in his 40s. So they can live for several decades, so kind of 70, 80 years. They can live for quite a long time. Friday is very patient sometimes. So how fast can they swim? Turtles can actually swim really, really quickly. Normally, they're quite calm and they swim around quite slowly. But if they need to get away from something, they can dive down really, really deep and really, really quickly. So they normally spend their time near the surface because, as you just heard, he took a really big breath there. So they actually breathe in air. They've got lungs a little bit like we do. So they spend most of their time reasonably slowly swimming around near the surface, but they can quickly dive deep down if they have to. And they can actually stay underwater for several hours. So if Friday wanted to have a little snooze, he could stay underwater for 5 or 6 hours without having to come up to breathe. How heavy is Friday? Friday weighs about 20 stone, so he's quite heavy. So turtles don't actually breathe underwater. They always come up to the surface. They take a really big gulp of air and then they store it inside them. So they can swim around underwater and basically hold their breath for a really long time. So they do lots of different things to help them. So they can slow down something called their metabolic rate. So they can slow down how quickly they break down and use the oxygen that's inside the air they've taken in. So they can make the oxygen last a lot longer, which is why they can stay underwater for so long, even though they breathe air. That is very heavy, yes, he is. They mainly use their tail. You can kind of see it as he turns around. They use it a little bit like a rudder, so they can use it to help them turn into the direction they want to go. They can spin around on the spot completely if they wanted to, and their tail kind of helps them get the momentum and helps them balance themselves. Hello Ava, age 7. Thank you for watching. So Friday does live in the tank with all of our really big sharks and stingrays. So there are also 11 sharks living in this tank and lots of really big stingrays. It's actually the biggest tank in the whole of the UK. So it's about 11 meters deep and it holds 2.5 million litres of water. So that's enough water for you to have a bath every single day for 85 years. So the sharks won't attack Friday for a couple of reasons. One, Friday is enormous and he can actually outswim the sharks quite a lot of the time. So he's quite quick. The sharks are generally quite slow. And sharks in general are a little bit lazy. So they don't really hunt down big, strong, healthy animals. So they tend to only go after fish that are weak. So if an animal is injured or sick, or for some reason it's a little bit slow, those are the ones that sharks will try and eat. Because if they try and hunt a healthy animal, they usually waste too much energy, so it's not usually worth it. So obviously in this kind of setting, It's very easy for us to make sure that all of the fish around are nice and big and strong and healthy. But also our sharks are target trained. So just like Friday, we've taught the sharks that a certain symbol or object means food. And when we put that in the water and they see it, they come over to us and we can feed them directly from their own special little lunch boxes, so they know exactly where their food comes from. And they know that they're going to get enough food and that they're going to get it often. So they never have to worry about where their food's going to come from. So they never have to start looking for their own food. And even though sometimes Friday steals the food from the sharks, they still always get enough. And it never really bothers them. It's always quite a playful thing they like to do. So this is one of our sandbar sharks that's just swum past. So that's one of the slightly smaller ones that lives in this tank, believe it or not. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. I hope you all have an amazing Halloween. If you want to learn more about Friday or the sharks or seagrass or anything else that we've talked about, you can either head to our website or the website of the Ocean Conservation Trust, which is the charity that runs us. And of course, please do come and visit us, and we can chat to you in person and answer all of your questions, and you can come and say hello and happy Halloween to Friday yourselves.